Hello. Welcome to Stream Debating with Jim, Reno, and me, moderator Chris. How's it going? This is going to be a fun night. We have some interesting topics for all of you today. And, well, before we get into what we're talking about, let's get into who's talking. So, up first, we have Reno. Let's go.
Hey, I'm Reno. I would describe my politics as fluid. You know, about 10 years ago, it was really easy to figure out what side to be on because I just see who was angriest on the internet, and I'd be like, well, there's a lot of people that are angry. They're probably right. But then both sides started getting angry. So then I had to start analyzing what the groups were. So I'd zoom into photos and see who had weird hair and tattoos. That was not the side I chose. But then both sides had weird hair and tattoos, and they didn't know what to do. And this is where I have to go on a bit of a side story. When I was little, I had Auntie Fabia, and she was awful to my brother and sister and I, just awful. We used to call her Auntie Fa. And once the Auntie Fa became part of the left, then I knew I was an anti-Auntie Fa. And that's me.
Very good. Well, very exciting to have you on board. Thanks for joining us, Reno. And up next, we have Jim.
Hi, I'm Big Ugly Jim. I am a massive liberal. I love liberal politics. I love the liberal application of spice on food, salt and pepper. I basically all things I do, I try to do as liberally as possible. And so this should be a really interesting debate. I am Canadian, says Uncle Fa. Yeah, no, it should be a fun time. I'm really looking forward to just obliterating Reno. I'm glad to say, like, I'm glad I don't hold up the trope that you have of lefty social media personalities who can't dress according to the role. I feel like
I was gonna say, I appreciate that you came to this event with the respect that it deserves and the reverence, right?
And it's really about respect for you, right? Because I just want you to understand that, like, I genuinely and wholeheartedly respect you, and would never do anything to mock you or, make fun. By the way, I got medals. These are my debate medals. I'm a debate champion, and you're going down.
Chris, did you check this guy was part of Antifa before he got here?
I am definitely a strong member of Antifa, and yeah, sleeves. Jim,
Yeah,
sleeves,
I did
Jim
check it out.
sleeves.
He knew your auntie. It checks out.
You should slam that door some more, kid. Have children. Show of hands, please.
Yeah.
Two master debate. A show of hands. My hands are up here. Nothing untoward happening down there. I don't know why. That was just brought up on chat.
All right.
All right. Oh, and
Okay.
quickly, I'm just going to plug my social media. It's what you're watching on.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I would love to offer my social media, but the left is so aggressive that I've actually had to find places even more recessive on the internet than Parler. So secret that you can't even know what they are. So, but look me up somewhere. I'm probably out there somewhere
On the dark web.
Exactly.
Farming them bitcoins for funding of alt-right terror. I mean, groups.
Excellent. Well,
Ad
thank you
bombs
again.
already. I see, Jim. I see how this is gonna go.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the coke tonight.
Oh, it's gonna get spicy.
Never heard of that before.
All right. Speaking of spicy, we have our first topic of the night: gummy bears. What insidious plot to corrupt children are gummy bears guilty of? Take it away, gentlemen.
Why don't Reno? Why don't you take the first run?
Well, when we agreed to do this debate, I think 2 days ago, I was really happy to see what are those medals about.
Oh, it's just I don't want to draw attention to them. They're my debating medals that I have won many awesome debates with. Thousands of debates. In fact, each one of these represents 3,000 debate victories. So that's 6,000 debate victories. I wasn't trying to distract you.
You're taking my time now here.
Well, you're asking questions. I'm just answering questions, sir.
Come on, moderator.
Reno, you got this.
He's flashing his medals. They're making light come to my eye. I can't read my notes. So, 2 nights ago, I was very happy to see that the gummy bears are going to be part of our discussion because I think that Jim and I both agree here that gummy bears are definitely up to something insidious. But I think that his view might be a little bit different as far as what their actual end game is. It might be worse than rotting teeth.
Absolutely, it is.
Oh,
So-
goodness.
Yeah, what I'll say about gummy bears is obviously there is a problem with gummy bears, and what Reno doesn't want you to know is that gummy bears are part of that alt-right funnel, right? What is the one thing that you can't completely eviscerate with your mouth when you're eating gummy bears? White. But you can destroy all the colors, and the red ones taste the best. So tell me that's not about communism. Tell me that you can't hide about it. You know the truth, Reno. You know. I don't know why you.
Well, Jim, I got a real, like, your premise there is actually flawed because you're talking about communism countries, but guess what? Gummy bears were made in Germany. Whatever came out of Germany.
By the
Socialists
National Socialists.
and Volkswagen, BMW, Audi, Porsche. These are all foreign vehicles. I didn't even know that until just reading these notes I wrote 2 days ago. So
Oh,
they're clearly not communists because they come from Germany.
That's the thing is you're right. They're not communists. They are a plot against the communists by the National Socialists, who also came out of Germany. I mean, you can take some more. We've got some time to continue the debate, but I just won.
I don't
Do you
think so.
have
Let's
any,
talk about how they're going to get to their end goal then. So they are trying to stop communists? Like, what's your position here?
Yeah,
exactly?
it's an alt-right pipeline, right? So you get this bag full of colored candies of color, and you're expected to eat all of them. There's no white gummy bears, right? So you can't possibly. All you're doing is eradicating. It's a genocide. It's an absolute genocide, a candy-based genocide. And I don't believe that we. Go ahead.
aren't there clear gummy bears which have
Thank
no
you,
pigment?
I mean, yeah, that's probably a
Like-
thing that happened at some point. But the gummy, like, I mean, that's like saying you have a black friend.
Oh, all right.
All right, well, did you know this? That bodybuilders actually prefer gummy bears? And as far as I know, there's all different color people that are bodybuilders, Jim. So your argument just doesn't hold up.
Yeah, again, you're claiming things that, but you know, like you're not citing sources. Anytime I hear these the guys on the right always want to have they've got the big brain points and they want to talk all about their big brain points, but they're just riffing, they're just making it up. Not like me, I did the research.
So the thing I just told you is from Wikipedia. And there's also an article I was reading just the other day that actually said that there might be a lead-in from gummy bears into drugs. It's actually like more of a gateway drug than marijuana. Because what do you mean?
What? Well, first off, you're citing Wikipedia. Wikipedia is only a good source when I use it.
No,
When you
I
use
said
it,
that
it's
bodybuilders was Wikipedia. I said this is about an article that I had read the other day. So this
just
is not
some
Wikipedia.
article
Try to keep up. Jim.
Yeah, the other day
Just keep
I was on the internet and I read an article and it perfectly backed up my position, but you know, I can't produce it right now. Wink.
I can. Just let me explain the article to you
Okay,
first.
please. Don't let
So
me
if you go to
don't let me talk over. Don't let me talk over you. Just go ahead.
go to-
I'm not going to
Yeah,
talk
let
over
her
you.
talk.
You just go. Go. I don't want
No,
to.
no,
I don't want to. I
no,
want
no.
this to be a
Jim?
good fit.
Okay, now let me make my point. Thank you, moderator. It's unfortunate that you had to even get involved, frankly. So if you actually go to the candy store and you look at all like the different containers with the gummies in there, right? You have the worms and you have the bears. The bears are way smaller. So that breaks little children's brains when they're impressionable to not understand the proportion. Like, what kind of terrifying world is this?
Okay, so this
And
is
it's all in this article.
this is the article that you sent me.
Yes.
I'm just going to bring that up on screen.
Yeah, I sang the name. See, I got sources.
Yeah. This is a guy's tweet. That's not a source.
You said not Wikipedia.
Oh, you know what? You do have me there. That is very true. the key, and I don't disagree that the proportions for gummy bears are all wrong, which frankly is probably because of National Socialism in general, because obviously, Hitler, he was a self-hating person. He his Aryan race was all, blonde-haired, blue-eyed superheroes, and here he was, a short, unimposing, swarthy, hair-colored, whatever. I feel like focusing on the proportion is the wrong thing. That's like saying that I'm better than you at debate just because I'm bigger than you. What? Oh, we're
Proportion.
We got a graphic depiction of the difference in proportion between the gummy bear and the bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's fine. Young minds are impressionable. That is awful. Like, I actually am getting a little bit traumatized by seeing that. Chris, please take it away. Thank you.
And I agree that young minds are impressionable, and that's why we have to stop this alt-right funnel that is the gummy bears. They even had a TV show. Did you ever see the TV show? It was clear they were obviously socialists. They were always working together. They were always enjoying each other's company. And what would the end result be? Nothing. It was a stupid show. But then you have to eat them. You have to eat them.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that's what you think, I mean, I also watched that show, and I remember the bears actually dancing quite sexually. And I feel like maybe the plot is that Germany is trying to get kids into bears when they're young, and then they don't actually, and then we get outbred by Germans. I think is probably what that's about.
Okay, so you're. This is clear. This is such a common right-wing talking point on this subject. Ooh, the bears. You know what?
Gummy bears.
What?
They're gummy bears. I
Yeah,
think that's quite clear.
Yeah, they're gummy bears made out of pure white sugar. Thank you, Chad Bender. Pure white sugar that makes the gummy bears, right? It's not. It's and the sickening sweetness that draws you in is the pure white. That's like straight up dog whistling, and you know it. You can't argue this.
Well, I think that, I would actually expect the Germans to be smarter than that, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but there is a certain type of gelatin that was included in gummy bears that can cause mad cow disease in humans.
Oh, really? Is there any source that you have on that, or are you just inventing? Oh, is mad cow disease even a real thing?
All of the stuff I'm going to say tonight is either someone else said that's maybe not informed, or I found it on the internet. Okay, let's just get that right out of the way. I got it somewhere. I don't even know where I got it. I made some notes.
So you can't even cite your sources. That's.
I gave you a Wikipedia. I referenced. I just said that I looked at Wikipedia. I didn't know that was against the rules, Jim.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
we should next time we'll negotiate this beforehand.
Let me take a moment to cite a source then. My source is a guy named Big Ugly Jim who says Reno's losing this debate. Oh, cited.
Close. You're not the moderator. You won't get to pass that judgment, but close.
Oh,
Close.
It's the power hungry. I no wonder. I've actually got the screen set up so that
it comes from the hat.
It comes from the hat.
Yeah.
It's the cat in the hat.
Yep.
It's a good hat.
That's the one. It is. It's not mine. Anyways, you were criticizing Reno's sources.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any.
Right, the internet's not a source.
A meme, Jim. Nothing. Nada.
What?
You haven't provided any sources. You haven't even referenced anything.
I don't need to provide.
Gummy bears bad.
I'm the one arguing from a state of truth, right? You're the one who's got these ridiculous claims about gummy bears. Mine are well documented. Maclean's magazine had an article about the alt-right gummy pipeline. Like I don't need to bring this.
We send that right over. I'll look at that.
I will as soon as I can find it. I'm busy. I've got a couple things on the go, but I definitely in a few days I'll send that over. But it was huge. It was the cover story of Maclean's magazine. So I mean, I'm not surprised you didn't read it because you probably can't read. But it was out there.
How do you to make you think I can read? Now you just embarrassed me.
Well, I'm sorry. Embarrassed is a very big word. I'm proud of you. I'm proud.
I don't like hearing words.
And proud is a word that you know a lot about.
Ad hom.
So that's getting a little personal. Let's back to gummy bears. So we've been talking about this mad cow disease, and that's I think where we got sidetracked on the sources debate. Let's
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
for the purpose of progress, all sources are valid moving forward.
Okay.
Oh, I love this rule.
Yeah, you
And
would, because you don't have to. You can just lie now. You can just lie. Just gish gallop away.
let's hear about some mad cow disease from gummy bears.
Well, kids get it. They get crazy. Then they attack cows, as far as I understand it.
So it's like a mad at
Right.
cows disease.
Yeah, exactly. You guys haven't seen it? It was on the news like years ago. We had them in Alberta. Little kids attacking cows.
Hey,
That's
I
what-
just want to
Yeah.
quickly say on my chat, I'm getting ad hominem attacks by I Am Canadian. It says gummy bears are soft and mushy, kind of like the liberals. Hey, buddy, I'm a liberal, and I'm not putting up with your crap. I would, mute you or something, but there's no button for that.
Yes, there's no free speech here.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Reno, go back to lying.
This is so hard. Okay. I'm just trying to
Okay, while you try and research at the last second, I'll just jump in with a few important facts
closing
that
argument. I have my final closing argument. Please let this is my time, Jim.
it's not your time yet. It's not your time. You wait your turn. I waited my turn. I was civil. I was polite. I waited. I haven't talked over you once. Here you are. You're talking over me. Why are you talking over me?
Oh,
This is so
Moderator, please.
like the right. Can I give a quick?
you're so right, Jim.
Like 30
You're so right,
seconds
Jim.
tops.
Okay.
Okay, 30 seconds tops. All right, so obviously the whole mad cow disease is a complete lie. The only disease that's associated with gummy bears is gummy syndrome, which is a weakening of the joints and bones. We all know that. It's been very heavily documented, and I'm tired of the way that the right wing wants to use gummy syndrome as a feeble attempt at undermining all of like Western values that they supposedly hold so dear. They're always like, oh my God, but you know what? We know what you're up to. We know exactly what this is. I have studies, I have charts, I have proof. There is nothing but evidence that shows that gummy bears are a part of a sinister plot, that gummy bears are in fact from the fascist state, that their whole purpose is to promote a white ethno state where all the children are destroyed, and it's a horrible future, and I don't understand why anyone would want to live in a world without color.
It's funny that you mentioned that, the ethno state stuff, because like my closing statement will address that. It's actually right here. I don't know how that even happened because we didn't coordinate that at all. No, so we didn't. Anyways, I went behind the fourth wall. Okay, I'm not even against gummy bears as a whole. I just want to preserve what makes the non-gummy bear universe, or NGBU, if you will, special and in need of preservation.
Preservation? This is so like, it's not that I don't want colored things. I just want them to be preserved in a preserve, like a zoo. Is that what you're saying, Reno? God,
I think he's saying that gummy bears don't go bad.
They're bears, of course they should be in. Oh man, you just owned yourself. I'm sorry. Jim.
No, I did not own myself. You own yourself.
There's the answer. In fact, maybe we can stop the insidious plot by putting them in a zoo. That's a really good. I might actually have changed my opinion during this debate.
Well, I'm a very good debater.
Well, I didn't agree with you. I came up with after you said something.
But the important thing is we had a debate and your opinion was changed, and I will take that victory. I win. I always win. I'm not surprised. And especially like it's and again, I'm not insulting when I say that you're not at my level of either intellect or debate skills. So I don't mean that as an insult. That's not an ad hominem. I respect you for what you are. And I think that this has been a very good conversation where you've totally admitted that I'm right and you're wrong, and I appreciate you being the bigger man.
Well, I think we can all agree that winning is a state of mind, and you've both done a great job of explaining what's on your minds. So,
Good.
congratulations.
Yep. Debate. It's hard. Reno, you'll get better. One day maybe you can have some 6,000 victories of medal on you. I'm just saying.
actually know a guy who has 2 of those medals, and my drums are in his house, so maybe I will get one.
Yeah, only if he's like, busy and not looking, and you go in and
Maybe
sneak
his kids will let me in. I hear he's threatening them on the internet a whole lot. I've heard it several times.
That's terrible. Whoever that is an awful person.
Probably.
Also,
Okay.
Surely true.
I should quickly, because this is my Twitch chat that we're using. I should have mentioned this earlier. If you have specific questions for either of our debaters, you can at Chris. You're on the Twitch chat, right?
Ooh, maybe.
It's our first time.
Yeah, this is our first, their first debate.
Nope.
I've done a million of these because I'm.
Do I need a Twitch account to do that? Because I have one, but I
Yes.
don't use it.
Yes, you do need a Twitch account.
I know what I'm doing.
That's cool. That's cool. No judgments
Okay.
here. Like we're I mean,
yeah, I am
Reno
on-
is all about judgments because he's a an ultra nationalist ethno-stater. But
Well, clearly.
I'm just asking questions.
How do I find it on Twitch?
How do you which?
Okay.
Oh, it's a big ugly gem. One word. ABIGUGLYJIM. So just you should be able to follow, and I'll grant you like mod powers real quick, so that you can stop all the people from
All right.
saying horrible things about me, which just hurt my
Well, I
spirit.
need to mute the crap out of that. That's disorienting. All right.
Yes.
There.
Okay, one sec. I'm just going to give you a mod. What's your name on there?
Sondertron 90, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you are now a moderator. So, okay. So, yeah, anyone that is in the chat on Twitch, feel free to send questions directly to Sondertron69 or whatever that was.
Sondertron 90.
Sondertron90. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to at you here real quick. Sondertron90 for all your Q&A questions. There we go. So yeah, feel free to spam the hell out of Sondertron, and
Yeah.
at the end we will have. Yeah, I forgot to preset that up. He has heavy metals. Heavy metals. He's a heavy metal winner. Yes, super heavy metal winner. Those were the secret devil horns. You gonna tell me I'm going to hell there, Christian nationalist?
Yay for
You get a lot of
technology. We've got our-
modifiers. It's like white nationalist, Christian nationalist.
It's
like,
just
you know,
any kind of nationalism really works for you and yours.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you
Okay.
over the sound of my
So-
clanging of my medals for debate that are totally debate medals.
We'll leave the Q&A to the end.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
far, I don't see any. I'll write them down as they come in, or copy paste them to something else. And do you have any? No, you guys both declared yourselves winners already on that one. So
No.
Again,
I won
congratulations.
because he walked away from his opinion, so I win by default. Default.
That's not right. I told what the actual end goal state of the gummy bear apocalypse would be just by, I thought that I got from something that Jim said, not that he changed my opinion.
Yeah, and I do find it interesting to think that there is possibly an entire gummy universe out there.
It's terrifying. And it's
Multiverse is terrifying. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what anyone else scares up. And self-proclaimed winner Jim, I
Not-
think you're gonna get to
Not
start
just
the next one.
self-proclaimed. I actually have on my phone here. I have comments from Facebook and our friend Jeff, who is a mutual friend of Reno's and I.
Oh,
He
yeah, I know
said-
that guy.
He says Jim won. It's on Facebook. I can cite
Jim
my
actually
sources.
didn't ever say. Jim actually never said what the end of the
Hey.
what they're even doing. He never even answered the question of the debate. So if you think that, Jeff,
What are you
I don't
talking
see-
about? I broke down entirely how the gummy bears
Do it.
are
You
a
didn't say
white
that.
nationalist funnel, and I gave all sorts of reasons. You're so bad at this. Oh my god, you're just like trying to get a rise out of me. Like, I'm Reno. I'm a jerk.
You just mute him, Chris. You can do that, can't you? You should.
No, he can't. Because I'm running all the, but I can mute you.
All right, so are you moving on to the next topic then?
All right, I think that's best for the sake of progress.
Yeah, Jeff says step it up, Reno Johnson.
That wasn't my
So-
strongest one because I wasn't debating for or against. I was trying to make a conspiracy theory. That's what that was a little bit more challenging.
Hey,
feel like
maybe you'll get better.
I'm going to be doing really good for the against on the next motion and then the for on the next one. And
Shay
that's it.
says, "Have you even debated, bro? I have got medals, actual debate medals. I have
Jim is
debated.
muted.
Oh yeah,
He's
you did.
muted himself.
I can't be muted, but that's weird.
Um,
You know what's funny?
nice one trying to blame me for that.
Yeah, the interesting thing.
Very slick.
Am I still
But-
muted?
all
on
right.
Discord? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So I can't hear Jim. What's going on?
I don't know. That's weird, because I'm not muted on Discord, and even if you mute me on
Why do I
Discord,
suck so
I
hard
still
with
have
technology?
OBS. The whole stream is going through my system, so you can't mute me here.
Exactly. He centralized the means of production. For some reason, he doesn't want to share it with other places and people.
I'm just
I
saying.
unmuted him, and there we go.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay. Reno was probably just stacking the deck to try and win.
Yeah.
He's got to rely on these cheap tricks and bad debate skills, and I'm not judging. I'm not judging.
I found a gummy bear I got an 18-year-old son. I found a gummy bear just sitting on my coffee table when I was making dinner a couple of hours ago, and I'm not feeling so good now, man.
Yeah. Does it make your head feel funny? That's the nationalism. Jim
That's
is
it,
an
huh?
unbelievable antagonist, says Che. You absolutely bet. I am so unbelievable. Everything I say here
Absolutely.
is going to be unbelievable.
I mean, I'm gonna give it. I will give you that one, the gummy bear round, because I think it is a little bit more believable that there is racist motives for the production of gummy bears than there is a gummy bear universe.
The gummy
It's a
bear
close
universe,
victory, though.
it's a way
What
better.
that argument though was simply that that's how they corrupt children because their brains can't understand the
Right.
proportions. It was just how they're trying to break children's minds at a young age, right? That's what that was about.
Yeah. Well, they succeeded in that as well with the Care Bears TV show you guys were talking
You're
about.
right.
Gummy bears.
Um,
Gummy bears.
The
TV
gummy
show.
bears, yeah.
Battery,
Shoot
okay.
gummy lasers out of their gummy tummies.
I honestly don't remember. I remember there was the one that had like the cool. Oh my god! They had like a mohawk that's almost the same as mine.
Yeah, it was.
That's terrifying. So anyways, maybe we both won, except clearly I won. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think we can all mutually agree to that.
Perfect.
Okay, next motion. What do you got, Chris?
Okay, so coming up next, we have women's suffrage. I'll let you guys pick your own sides on that one. But yeah, let's debate women's suffrage. How do you feel? Jim, you won last time. Let's hear your take off the bat.
All right. So I'm not familiar with women's suffrage directly, but I do think that suffrage is, why should people be suffraging? I feel like there's so much suffraging in the world that it is completely stupid to consistently make women's suffrage just because they're women, right? I don't know how anyone can argue that, I believe the children of the future, and suffrage is what? Why are you talking over me?
Okay, so it's about voting. It's so that ladies can vote, dude. Like, come on.
Oh yeah. Then I'm for that. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of time to research this. Why would they call it suffrage? That's stupid.
All right.
All right. Women should vote. Women should vote.
Okay, but they already have the vote. The thing is should we keep it?
Oh. Well, yeah. I think that we should. I think that women are they're people. They should be allowed to vote. Are you going to take a contrary stance to that, or just concede that I'm right?
I'm going to take a conservative stance and hope for the best. Um, so my first position is all about money. So like women are like half of the population and therefore half of the eligible voting demographics, right? So if we like
See, and
cut that
that's
in half,
I'm just gonna
we can
stop you right there. When
say-
you say that, what you're saying is the women are lesser, right? They're not even a full population. They're like, oh, I'm half a population. Like, dude, go back to the 1972s.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so like if you have two things, or one thing you chop it into two pieces, how many is this?
Are you
About
talking about
half,
are you
right?
talking about chopping women, dude? Like, how sick is this? What is wrong with you? Like, oh, we're just talking about suffraging, and you're like, oh, let's start vivisecting humans. Always with the right wing with
Save money. To remember, the point was to save money. We want
oh,
to
so
save
it's
money.
cheaper if you just murder people. You know, I happen to want to live in a better world than that, Reno.
Boy, I've seen a straw man in my day, but that one is like literally made of straws that you drink pop out of. Yikes. Okay. Well, so what's another argument that you have for then? Because you're just trying to trash my stuff, and I'm
Well,
not having that.
The
What's up? What do you got?
the arguments for why women should vote, because they're people. Sorry if that doesn't sit well with you, but they're people. They smell nice. I think voting lines would be a lot grosser if it was just a bunch of sweaty men, right? As a liberal, obviously my interest is always to be easily distracted and not have to get gummed up in details and things. So
Do you love all women?
yeah,
Jim.
yeah, I love all
No,
women.
do you love all women?
Like every
All of
single.
them.
No,
Yeah, all
no,
women.
no.
Oh, interesting.
Like no one loves all. I love them like in a harmonious way. Like part of my very strongly held spiritual beliefs are that I love all women, but I don't like love all women, right?
Well, why do you want them all to vote then?
Because I think that their voices should be heard, right? It's not just about like, ooh, I'm
You don't
Reno.
love-
Me and my 6 friends will just run the world. Like, no, I think it's important that we hear from
It's so funny
women
that you
folk.
think I have 6 friends, Jim. Hilarious. Anyways. Okay, well, I'm going to go to my next point then. I got a lot of these ideas from a very popular Canadian psychologist.
Donahue,
What's that?
Phil Donahue.
Oh, you're,
He wasn't even
Yes.
Canadian, dude. God.
oh, you got me. Okay, so look it. Since the 1960s, in the pill, women have become more like men. They're like in control of their sexual behavior. They can basically do everything that a man can do now. They go to college and they get educated, and then they have more opinions. And then the next thing you know, oh wait, this is the insult part.
I was on r/the Don and or the Donald and found a whole bunch of arguments about
That's-
suffrage.
You do know where I get my information from, clearly. Well,
Okay,
that's
so you
fine.
both are using the same source for this debate. That's allowed.
Well,
So, yeah, it's-
I use Chrome.
Okay, well, do you have another argument for? Or are you going to take that one down?
No, you haven't proved that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. All you've said is that when you educate them all up, then they have thinky thoughts
They don't
inside
wanna
their
vote.
heads.
Yeah,
What's
and
that?
they have opinion. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. They have a vote, and now they have education. Everybody knows you get more liberal as you get educated. So then, what's going to
Winning.
happen? This is just not going well for me at all.
No.
Okay, so that's my next argument. So there's some things I do, like I tried a couple times, and it's not really a lot of fun. And then I do it one more time, maybe two more times. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do this anymore. And I feel like voting could kind of be like that. Like, what's the big deal if you don't get to vote? It's not that big of a deal.
That does not surprise me that you would say that, right? This is what guys on your side of the conversation always want to do is just like, hey, you know what? It's a hot day. You shouldn't vote. You know what? It's a long walk to the voting station. Don't vote. I'll vote for you, right? All of a sudden, we wind up with fascists in power, and that's what you want. You want Donald Trump 2024 with his awesome running mate, Adolf Hitler. That's what you're trying to do. That's the world you want to live in.
It's actually JFK Jr. I don't know if you've been following Q at all or what, but that's not what's going to happen.
Wait, JFK
Okay.
Jr. had a dad?
He's going to run with Donald Trump in 2024. Okay, here's another argument then. Guess what? In 2015, Saudi Arabia also let women vote. Do you want to be like Saudi Arabia? They're Saudi Arabia.
That's a very valid argument. No one wants to be like Saudi Arabia. However,
And they do.
one could argue, posit the argument that, in fact, it was Saudi Arabia trying to be more like us, which is a good thing. And we should want the international community to come together and build each other up. So, yeah, I think it's important that if women can vote in Saudi Arabia, that we should probably keep it here. Otherwise, Saudi Arabia is just going to take that right away.
This is laughable. You really think that there's no countries in the world that like we do something and they do the same thing, that we wouldn't want to change that immediately so we're not the same?
Well,
We do that with America all the time. We can't be American. We're close, but then we try to be like way nicer than them,
that's
right?
That's
We always
fair.
have to. So I don't know. Maybe this is one of those countries you don't want to be the same with. We should change it up. Just keep some deltas going.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, because it's basically a place of ignorance. I just think that what you need to do is just mask off for 5 seconds and just admit that it's not that you don't care about women voting. You just don't care about anyone other than you voting. And you and your little cronies, your
I don't like voting. I think it's a colossal waste of time. We should just basically do away with it. What's the point?
no, I would actually disagree on that one.
Go back to
We're
game.
completely flipping. We're going in a whole different conversation.
Well, let me close my final argument. There's a major anti-suffragette movement all through the mid 1850s, all the way through, and some of their examples were led. These organizations were led by women like Josephine Dodge, who argued that giving the women the right to vote would actually overburden them and undermine their privileged status because they get to stay at home and eat bonbons all day. That's what they get. That's the deal. So now that they have to vote, they don't get to do that anymore. And it's a lot harder for them, so we should just let them not vote.
So I'm just curious, where do you get all of this intel?
I already provided sources, my
Oh,
friend. I'm not
I've
providing
provided
any more
sources. Oh,
You
I've got
probably-
sources. r/the Donald. Roosh V told me in a.
Or I just have to use a VPN to do that, and if I load up my VPN, it'll probably wreck the Discord connection, so I can't. I need to be on a private network to get to where my sources are.
Well, Chris said already that basically, what we're doing for the purposes of this debate is just allowing you to just say whatever bullshit you want, and I'll have to accept it
Right.
as gospel.
Reno gets to quote the internet, and you get to state your opinion, and they're on an even platform.
Yeah, except that my opinions are better than this internet that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, probably some of it. This depends. And then this gets back to the Antifa thing. Like, I don't even know how to, like, just everybody else. Lots of yelling. Okay, so that's my closing argument for why we should get rid of women's suffrage.
See, and I
So we
never-
have saving money and
privileged status.
not limiting the privileged status of women, and
Don't be like Saudi Arabia.
don't be like Saudi Arabia. Yes.
Sometimes
how can I forget
things
that?
about that fun get boring after you do it 1 or 2 times. So what's the big deal if you can't do it anymore? And then finally, my self-help guru from Ontario, they take the pill and they're turning into men, so we don't want them to vote or something.
All right, I'm gonna
right.
just take. Can I do my closing on the subject so that
Please.
we can? Yeah. So here's the thing: in the world that we live in, the real world, not the imaginary ethno world that you want to create, Reno. In the real world, what we've seen is nothing but a strengthening economy. This is something that conservatives always want to talk about. Oh, the economy, the economy, the economy. But you know what? All of a sudden, when women got the right to vote, everything got better. The world is a better place. We have vaccines now. Before women could vote, how many vaccines did we have, Reno? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a fucking lot, Reno. All right? So if you want to get in the way of scientific innovation, economic growth, how are you even a conservative? Like literally, these are the things, these are supposed to be your talking points. Property taxes are high, but mortgage rates are at the lowest rate they've ever been since women got the vote. So obviously, there's a direct cause. It's a causation equals correlation fact. And I don't like the fact that you can sit there and be like, well, I read incel crap and Jordan B.
The C is soft. It's fallacy, not fact.
Right? Feelings don't care about your facts, buddy.
Suffrage is all because of that. So are they accountable for the bad things that happened to Jim?
No, that was the rise in white nationalism. Dedoy.
You have two levers. I don't have any way out of this equation. All right. Do you want to move on to the next stuff?
Yeah. If you're conceding that I won, you bet.
I can see that you haven't won.
You can't concede that I haven't won. That's not even English.
Look, I'm on performance-enhancing gummy bears right now, so I'm just trying to do what I can to hold it together here. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that one was hard. Do you want to take now that I'm caught up on Twitch, do you want to take the questions now or at the end?
Let's do a Q&A at the end.
Okay. So,
This one won't be
moving
super long.
forward.
It's straightforward.
How do you find gentlemen feel about masks? The mask mandate. This is the next topic. Let's move with that one was a little bit more ambiguous. Let's start with Reno.
So Jim got a 10-8, and that might be a 10-9 in my favor, is what I just heard.
No,
All right.
I won that one.
I'm for a permanent mask mandate for the following reasons. I'm just kidding. We should always have masks on forever. So my first point is, how long have people worn underwear? Tell me. Anybody know? Chris?
No, I don't know. I didn't do my research.
Like yesterday, because he knows I'm going to use this against him. So it's been a long time, right? But
yeah,
we don't wear
I've worn
masks.
underwear a long time.
It's unnatural for us to cover only one end of our digestive tract.
Interesting.
Completely unnatural.
Completely unnatural to cover. So your argument is basically
Natural. Traditional and natural.
you can't plug one without the other is what you're saying. So you're in support of
Create a
permanent
vacuum.
masks.
In fact, maybe that's why we have digestive issues going wild in Western countries. Because you need to create a vacuum.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. But
I can do an air quotes, dude. This is a video.
no, I didn't mean to. So I didn't understand. You're for a permanent mask
Forever.
forever?
Yeah.
So everyone would always wear masks?
Yes.
Okay. In this one, we agree, but for different reasons. And I'll tell you why I'm for a permanent mask ban, mask law, and that is because I burn right here really badly, so it's been fantastic for me. But also, it's really nice to be able to do crime and not worry about CCTV, because I am in fact a liberal, and liberals like to do things like burn buildings down, which that's a part of our whole milieu. And so it's nice to not have to worry about government intervention when I'm doing that, right?
Fumes, actually, too.
Seize the means of production.
Yeah, maybe we do agree. So one of the things I think about, which would be beneficial if we had a permanent mask mandate, and I mean like all the time, like in your own house too, like you don't take them off. Just all the time.
I have been wearing this thing the whole debate, dude.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to check your sources on that.
We're gonna check the video after. We'll check the video after.
Okay.
So
You should.
So one thing that is helpful is that like you don't have to worry if you brush your teeth or not, because bad breath will get stuck in your mask, right? But further to that, you could actually abandon brushing your teeth altogether, which, according to my accountant friend, is around 1,423 and a half hours you would save if you lived till 80 and got teeth at 2. So this is the rub, though. Has anybody heard of Malcolm Gladwell?
No.
He's a Canadian. You should all know who he is. I'm just kidding, whatever. But anyways, he says you have to do something for 10,000 hours before you can master it. That number I said to you, way less than 10,000. It's 1,423 and a half hours. You're not even close. You're not even at 15%. So, every time you brush your teeth for 78 years, you know that you're never going to be able to master this simple task. Like you're starting your day like you're a failure. It's awful. We should stop having that burden on people and just make a mask mandate permanent.
Again, you know, this is another classic example of the right wing coming in and saying one thing and meaning another, right? He's talking about, oh, you just have masks. You don't have to worry about have masks. You don't have to brush your teeth anymore. But that's how he wants to get fluoride in the water, which is going to make my sperm swim sideways. We know what you're about, buddy. We know all about your sideways sperm swimming thing. It's disgusting, and I can't believe that once again we're having this conversation, and you always tie it back to fluoride in the water because you know fluoride's a poison. It's a poison that kills things. That's what poisons do. That's their job. And I've got sources and I've got data that show that you can't.
The projection problem is what you got. This is not my argument at all. I'm sorry.
You were talking about, hey, you know what? You're never gonna master brushing your teeth, so just don't bother. Just don't bother. Wear a mask.
I can't trust science. There's no way. That's not happening. So my idea was that you just let your teeth rot.
Yeah.
And then we blend all of our food for the entire world.
Yeah. As someone with nothing but perfect.
You're strawmanning me. I that was my next point, and you intervened, and you just went way off with where you're trying to paint me into a corner.
But
I'm not having it. Rejecting, Jim.
You see,
Stop
that's convenient.
It.
That's so convenient that you can be like, oh yeah, I'm coming to this debate in good faith. You're a bad faith actor. I'm a good faith actor.
You took your dress shirt off. I even said thanks for the respect, and then you took your shirt off and showed your tattoos with your crazy hair, and that's when I knew this is not going to be a good night. Frankly, but I have nowhere to go. It's too hot, and this is the coolest room in my house.
Yeah, it's super cool for you in your whites only room. Anyways, my whole thing
Yellow.
here.
Yellow for sure. I'm colorblind. Please don't point it out now. I feel so embarrassed.
Anyways, here's the thing. It's convenient that you can be like, oh, that was my next point. Oh my God, I was totally my next point. Yeah, right. Of course it was. What happened was you were going down a very clear path. I pointed it out, and you're pivoting. It's a pivot. You're like a basketball player going.
You both know that's not true. I discussed this with a very close circle of friends, and I also happen to know that you were in that chat. So the idea that you didn't know that was one of my points is a lie. Frankly, I have the receipts because you're in the chat still. It's the band chat.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't read it. I open it. I open it so that the little icon can move to the bottom, but I don't read. I'm a musician, bass player.
You said I couldn't read early in this debate. I cannot accept this claim.
That's why I wanted to reach out and be your friend, is because we're both illiterate. But no, you're all of a sudden you're like, oh, I wrote things in a chat.
Talk to text is a real thing.
There you go.
What are we? What? Oh yes, speech to text. Sorry, that.
Yeah.
I got confused
speech
there.
to text. Talk to text. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So, anyways, just as a recap, Reno wants to put fluoride in the water to kill pregnant women, and that's. I don't think I'm in any way conflating like different arguments. That's the argument he was making. So I think it's very clear to see that. The idea that we both agree on masks. I want to burn things down. He wants just to hurt everybody on the planet. And I get it. He already talked about vivisecting half the planet, and removing their right to vote, cutting them in half. Like, I honestly, like, who comes up with these debates? Because frankly, I can't even believe I'm in the same room as like a guy who's clearly a serial killer.
In the same room,
digitally.
In another part of the city.
Same chat room.
You don't even know where you are. That's why you're making up all this stuff. Are you hallucinating, Jim? Were you eating gummy bears earlier today?
They were delicious, thank you. And I felt, after eating them, I felt like alt-righter.
Oh.
Oh boy. Yeah, so I just think that, my Jim's position is different than mine. Mine is for like logical reasons, like being natural and letting your teeth fall out, right? But
That's
Jim
the
wants you to live
naturalistic
here.
fallacy.
Do you call it a fascistic fallacy? What
No,
you just
naturalistic fallacy. I know your brain hears fascist all the time. Anytime a liberal, you're like, stop calling me a fascist. I'm like, dude, I just said, do you want some pasta?
what's false about nature? Explain this to me.
Nothing's false about nature, but you're implying that because our teeth rot naturally. In fact, I can tell you, tooth rot didn't actually present a big problem until the agrarian revolution, where all of a sudden we were getting all of that refined sugar and wheat and stuff that causes plaque. Prior to that, we didn't have bad teeth.
You're kidding. Before the sugar, there was no dentist. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Dentistry is a new science, sir. It is not a part of the overall history of humanity. It's only new. That's why in England they just got it.
Caveman carvings of like a guy in a dentist chair with that little lamp thing over his head, and he was like kind of his mouth open. The guy had like a little chisel.
Yeah. Far Side cartoons don't count as sources, buddy.
What?
Far Side cartoons are not sources.
You don't like Gary Larson?
All sources are sources.
Yes, we already agreed with it. Gary Larson is totally legit.
It's Gary. I got nothing against Gary Larson. Yeah, Big Sugar got you all fooled. That's from the chat from Cloud Fiend.
Exactly, Jim's trying to scare everybody like a classic liberal. We should
I'm
wear
not. You're the
masks.
one. You're the one
Because
talking
you're
about
scared.
chopping women in half.
I'm saying, no, I didn't. I said we should just chop the budget in half by
Oh.
not letting them go. That's a very different thing.
Yeah, so
One's
you
more-
didn't go like there's a population and then suddenly there's half a population. Like I know what you're talking about. Genocide.
Here.
There come the medals again.
Okay, so Jim is arguing for the permanent mask mandate because of fear. I have logical reasons, like we don't need teeth. We should cover both ends of our digestive tract to increase digestion. What do you got, Jim? Just
I
You're-
told you I've got there's a scientific. Hang on, I have to pause the debate to give my child cigarettes. See?
He had no teeth. He wouldn't even have to worry about that too. They wouldn't have to put the warnings on the thing, right? Like they wouldn't have to be like your teeth could rot because you'd be like, yeah, that's the thing. I wear a mask all the time, both
but-
ends.
But here's the thing that obviously you asked you for my points. I'd like to actually have a chance if you would let me talk, have a chance to actually give you my points. So first and foremost,
You're right. I've been talking over you this entire time.
I'm trying. Are you gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let me talk?
Talk.
Hey, Larry King.
Come on,
All right,
just talk.
mask
love
up
to.
and speak up.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're okay with these because you're such a mask off guy. But here's the thing. This mask is important not just because of the virology. It's also a huge thing in the concealment of identity, right? So if I'm walking down the street and I've got a mask on, you don't know who I am. CCTV, doesn't it? What are you saying?
If you got nothing to hide, why do you gotta hide your face?
I got a lot of stuff to hide. I'm a terrible person. I do crimes all the time.
He did mention
Well,
arson earlier.
I'm gonna break character for a second. Taylor, who is this person? This is an entirely fake debate. There's no validity. This is Reno. He's my buddy and bandmate. So just in case you're like, wow, he's actually saying terrible things, or me, just making sure this is totally fake. All right. Anyways, with having said that,
The scary thing, my arguments kind of sound like them because I got them on the internet from places that have them.
yeah, from terrible people. Yeah. So hiding the identity. Also, I'm not a fan of having people breathe on me, especially the last few weeks or year and a half has been super nice. Not having random people just like.
Why would you want to take away my freedom? What if I like getting breathed on by people?
Well, and you know what? You can pay for that in the privacy of your own home. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I am going to tell you, don't fucking breathe on me. I shouldn't have to have random Renos sitting there just fogging up the back of my neck with their plague breath, which is probably all COVID and pneumonia and pinched nerves and whatever else.
Okay, I don't think we're getting anywhere. I think we both agree that the mask mandate should happen. I agree for naturalistic reasons and because of freedom,
Yes.
right? And you are afraid because you're going to light stuff on fire and you don't want face scanning algorithms to know who you are so they can search social media and discover that you're a criminal.
Exactly. So that is perfectly
I understand. It makes sense. I follow.
yeah. So we're on the same page. So I won that debate.
Yeah,
That's all three.
So masks
bears
for
are-
all.
Masks for all forever.
We're on the
I
both
mean,
sides of the topic, though, so no one can win. Gummy bears were conspiracy theory. We can vote on who had the best. I don't think Jim actually said anything, though.
I said a lot, and I proved beyond a shadow
Yeah,
of a
but
doubt.
you got together. It was not coherent.
Debate's not about
What did you
coherence.
say? Give me a summary of your gummy bear argument in 30 seconds.
My gummy bear argument? Simple. Gummy bears are a white nationalist plot to corrupt children into funneling into the alt-right. This is because they are candies of color, and you chew on them and destroy them, and that's horrible and awful, and there's no white gummy bears.
Right, and mine was by sexualizing bears to young children, they're trying to reduce the reproduction rate so the bears take over our country by outbreeding us.
Yeah,
Which is
which
totally
is,
an unreasonable thing for someone to say.
and the gummy cinematic universe or whatever it was.
Yes, and the drug thing, yes, because they're corrupting kids, because they're out of proportion, their brains can't handle it, starting doing psychedelic drugs, who knows? Maybe they
Yeah.
become liberal.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
I
that's-
feel like because
So-
we're in kind of a recap phase here, I'm going to start incorporating questions as they appeared in the
Sure.
chat for you guys to answer as we do this recap. So starting with the very first question that rolled in here, this one's for Reno, and it reads, question for Reno, how do you feel about having to use shorter words and pictures when debating with a socially challenged special needs social media influencer like Jim? First question in, first question read.
Well, I think you saw how it went. He didn't read
Yeah.
it. I said
Yeah,
valid
I
links.
won.
Neither of you can read, I think, was the answer to that, which is why I'm reading these questions to you. So I'll just
Exactly.
move on. Question for Jim. How can you reconcile the obvious health detriments of corn syrup and the continued support for gummy bear consumption?
I don't reconcile them. I think that corn syrup, there's no denying that it's terrible. It will destroy your teeth, which I care about, and Reno doesn't. And we've established that sort of beyond a shadow of a doubt. I just think that what needs to happen is that the world needs to understand that sorry, what was the question? I wasn't paying attention.
Yep.
Of course he wasn't. It's
Yep.
because he was doing the drugs earlier. He literally said he ate some gummy bears.
Performance enhancing gummy bears. Yes, we. Okay, so Jim. Actually, let's conclude our gummy bear debate first. So
Okay.
you guys have a last chance at closing statements, and then we'll see what people's reactions are.
I won.
It's a good
That's
closing
about,
statement.
that's about the only clear and coherent point that Jim made in that entire thing. He's supposed to list the conspiracy. They never came out to what their ultimate goal was.
I
Said something about
absolutely did.
communism. Pointed out the gummy bears were made in Germany, and that's a socialist country, obviously. That his stuff just fell apart from there, and he was really trying to wiggle off the hook. But fortunately, just like a gummy worm, I stuck it on there, and I got a fish, which is the win.
No, you did not. Your entire thing was predicated on some weird assumption about. You know what? I wasn't really listening. Could you recap again?
So I argued that it could cause tooth decay and give you mad cow disease, but that's all to get corrupted children with the psychedelic drugs from the disproportionateness of gummy bears versus gummy worms when you go to the candy store. And that all ties into the sexualizing of bears to young children, which will make them not attracted to humans when they're adults. And then there'll be more gummy bears and they'll outbreed us and take over our country.
Thank you for the recap. I definitely won.
I had like
if we're going with number of points, the count is in favor of Reno. However,
But I won.
it's
well, he just says he wins. He's going to say this every single round. He'll be like,
yeah,
I
he
won
is.
that round.
We do have a very strong anti-racism claim coming out of the left here, which is always nice to see represented, and I'm biased. I'm not gonna lie. That's where my vote goes.
So I win, is what you're saying.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie,
it took me a long time to come around.
either though. Let's like be serious here, Chris. You have to be indifferent. You have to be like, who's the best
No.
debater? That's fake.
No.
No, you can't agree with awful
Best
arguments.
debater. No, you had more points, weirder points, and Jim's concern was with the general health of the population versus, I guess, being anti-tooth decay is neat if you didn't contradict it in the third debate. But we'll get there later.
I built my arguments that was gonna get me. Damn it! I thought I'd sneak it by it, Chris. So yeah, because as soon as I went
Okay.
to the especially the
Okay.
Malcolm Gladwell thing, and yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, it was still good, but
But I won.
Jim won. Yes.
Okay, but I won the second one. I'm just gonna get ahead of this.
You can't call dibs on winning. Like I would never do that. I don't know what you're even thinking. I
Oh
won.
my god, this guy is so disingenuous.
You are a bad faith debater, sir.
I brought arguments. You didn't actually address any of them. You straw man.
That's how I addressed them. That's a liberal tactic, sir. I
know,
I
you
craft
tried to
a
add
straw
on me.
man that is reminiscent but not the same, and then I destroy it.
But the thing is, you apologize, but then you actually didn't say like you can call somebody an asshole, but you can't be like, this guy's not right because he's an asshole. You just called me names, and you just fell right into my trap. And I knew that the real debate bros would know that one, and that would be the end of it.
I brought so much information. What was our second thing? It was this women's suffrage thing, and I won. Women should be allowed to vote. That's
You're like women should not be suffraging. That sounds awful, and I agree. And that's why we should
That's
stop.
because in the beginning I didn't know what the word was. So once I learned what the word was,
Thank you for so much information. I feel like there's some gaps here that are there. The more you talk, they kind of present themselves, if you will.
again you're talking about teeth because I got gaps in my teeth. I get it. Personal attack. Ooh, Jim doesn't have money for a dentist, therefore don't listen to his points. Nicely done. Good ad hom.
Going over the chat,
Smart enough to do that.
we're definitely seeing a lot more votes in favor of Jim's perspective on this as well. The question I can find in the chat says, who is going to pay for all the extra voting oversight and counting if women continue to vote? So I guess that goes to you, Jim.
Question, Jim. Where is that going to come from?
I think that we should tax the rich. I always think the important answer to everything is tax the rich. People are like, what's 2 + 2? Tax the rich.
Why would you want to tax the rich?
Because
They earn that.
yeah, no, I I love this code. Like this is easily, I'm breaking character for a second. This is easily the dumbest thing you and I have ever done. And I had to literally be like, no, Taylor, please. We're joking and we're not bad, because I think Taylor was probably gonna
Yeah, real. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy, I'm going to get doxxed. That's why I'm glad I didn't give out my Parlor account. Sorry, my not Parlor account.
Anyways, obviously, so I won the second one.
The only additional follow-up question from that section is, again, for you, Jim. Why do lefties' feelings get hurt so easily? There is an answer in chat, but I'll let you answer.
Well, I would say that lefties' feelings get hurt so easily. Speaking as I'm not a lefty, I'm a liberal, right? But if I assume that they're talking about me, which I think is obvious, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't even have sleeves, and I still wear my heart on my sleeve. I will get hurt. I will cry. I will, skin my knee, and I will get back up, and I will keep the fight. As a liberal, not really. I'll just sort of type about the fight, but I'm typing and I think that matters.
That's how I get convinced when people get really angry. Then I'm like, they're probably right.
Right? See this,
And we've come full circle.
It's a tactic. What was the answer from chat?
Because you can't bring your safe space with you.
That's fair.
Oh,
That's
that
fair.
is good. I'm gonna use that in all my friend circles, especially my together gang. Right.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of other questions. I think there was maybe one. Moving from. Okay, so get offended easily. Oh no, the next one is who is this person? So I think we're all caught up.
All right.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Well, I think we can end the charade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the charade.
You guys are
is-
both silly.
We're both
That's
lefties.
the should have done the coin flip, dude. I was telling you, if people see us flipping, so we're like clearly arguing for whatever side we get, then it makes it feel a lot better. If anybody knows me, like these are clearly not opinions that I hold.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
if we
Before.
ever do this again, one of the things we should strongly consider is making sure that there's no way possible that any of our arguments could be construed as real. But then again, like we live in a world that's almost impossible to do because there are QAnon exists.
So, well, many of mine are literally lifted from like the base that I watch with like fucking awful file people, and then I just
Yeah.
make them about gummy bears because it's the funnel, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, no, it was interesting, but I know I said some stupid shit. I know you said some stupid shit. Your
was some
stupid
stupid
shit was what's that? Sorry.
There was definitely stupid shit
There
said.
was a bunch of
100%.
stupid shit. It was fun though. I enjoyed doing this, and it was fun. I specifically like you actually went and like planned ahead for a bunch of stuff, whereas I was like, I came up with really really loose ideas of what I was gonna do to react, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna riff, and I'm gonna riff badly, and it's gonna look like I'm pulling shit out of my ass, cause I'm pulling shit out of my ass.
well, I mean, even the gummy bear stuff, like I was like, what the hell? So I look up gummy bears and the fact that they're from Germany. Then I was like, gonna try to draw a fake conclusion to Nazis, been like sidestep it and whatever. But if I was like arguing on the side that I agree with, I could make ridiculous arguments around that. But arguing the other side is tough, super tough, and staying in character and saying such awful things.
It's yeah. I actually when you suggested we should do a debate, I was like, please don't make me take the right wing position. Oh my god, because yeah, like these things come out of your mouth and you're like, I genuinely hate myself right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, satire is. I mean, maybe I just need to stay in character more. Colbert did that for years, right?
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. It's over the top, but then people just don't even. It'll get passed around the internet. Someone will clip it. All of a sudden, I'm getting, attacked by Antifabia.
Yeah.
That's a real name. I had to find names that started with FA, so I had to go and do some research, and that was the one that just seemed like, I don't know. The other ones were too easy. So
I used to work with a guy whose name was Fa. It was short for Fadil, I think, but yeah, it was Fa. And nice enough dude, but yeah, when I didn't at the time, Antifa wasn't a thing, and now I'm just like the poor guy. Like there's a whole movement that's like anti him. Bender says have to do the whole Ace Ventura shower scene after some of the things said. Ha, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like this was fun and it was probably worth doing, but I know I definitely was like, there was some shit that I said that I was like,
Yeah, there was an uncomfortable middle section there, but
Yeah.
you know what? We made it. We're on the other side.
yeah, we made it through. I feel like the suffrage thing. Next time we can skip away from that one because there's
Yeah.
no good win there, and I think it's we learned a lesson today.
yeah, I don't know if I learned anything.
Sticking to character again, huh?
No, I mean seriously though, like all these arguments are stupid. They're like the dumbest arguments in the world. There are things that people say, but they're so absurd. So kind of just I was watching this debate, I'd probably be laughing at them. That's why I was like kind of okay with putting some of that stuff out there because they're ridiculous and they should be laughed at.
There
Very
is,
much so.
I do get that, and I do agree. There's a certain amount of import to making fun of terrible takes, and so I don't disagree. I just feel really awful saying terrible things. That's the
Trust
reality.
me, like I said, anybody that knows me, like as if I'm not a feminist, for example, like
Yeah,
there's no way. But if people don't know me, I mean, white dude, so kind of fits the thing, right?
yeah.
But
We were wearing that nicely buttoned up shirt in the beginning.
yeah, I'm roasting. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. But it
Yeah,
was
I'm gonna
fun,
do the
and
same.
Fair enough.
It
Very
was
fun.
it was definitely a
was-
good time. If we do it again, we'll make sure to stay away from suffrage.
Yeah. We got to be more on the gummy bears spectrum than the masks. Those were both wildly out there. Stay away from real things,
Yeah,
maybe. But
yeah, and that's exactly
um,
it. All right.
I liked it. It was good.
And thank you so much, Chris, for all your help.
I didn't do anything.
But you were a very necessary part of the equation.
yeah,
Well, happy to be here. Happy to sit and listen and recap at the end.
Excellent.
yeah, I think it sounded like we had to. So, anyways,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
All right,
Have a good
everyone.
night, guys.
You guys have